Oh my god, what an ending. What an ending for this episode. Like, I feel everything has been, like, cleared and, like, everything has been done and dusted with Parasyte, but one more week, people. One more week until I have to say goodbye to one of my favorite series for, like, last year and to this year. It's like, I'm gonna miss Parasyte, guys. I really am, and I'm probably gonna, like, buy the manga once it, like, over, and hopefully the anime when it comes out of here, but the final battle between Shinichi and Gotou. Jesus Christ, was that just some manly shit. Like, Shinichi, like, had plans from the start, going in with this just rusty-ass machete, going, and when we see Gotou, and he just looks like an absolute demonic beast. And he is just laying there. He looks a lot like Toguro in Yu Yu Hakusho, and he's just laying on the floor, like, kind of like, curled up, like, in a way, and it's like, what is he doing? Is he sleeping? And when he doesn't sense Shinichi at all because he hasn't got Miki inside him anymore. And when he's like there, like, carefully inspecting him, going in with, like, the whole machete, and it did nothing to him. And I'm like, what is gonna take to beat this monster down? Either, like, I got in, this was really manly. Shinichi, knowing that he hasn't got one arm, he still didn't give up. He still found ways to try and do damage to this thing, even by biting, like, a bit of bark out, like, from this thing to make, like, a sharp, like, little stick, jumping out of trees with just one hand, trying to, like, stab Goto. No matter what, he trying to find ways to take care of this thing. And this is where things get, like, really confused. Like, he managed to get, like, a piece of pipe from the trash, which I'm guessing, since it was so dirty and, like, so, like, the toxins were, like, affecting his body, which is ironic in a way, since a lot of the start of them was, like, saying, like, humanity was actually trying to destroy, like, the earth, like, they're causing pollution. And it's kind of ironic that that pollution, that man-made sort of, like, filth, is the thing that kind of was the last thing for Goto that actually destroyed him. So it's kind of ironic in that way that humanity's own destruction and the laziness and just, like, not taking care of their trash at all was the thing that saved Shinichi's life and like 100,000 people's life. But when he tried to stab him, and fucking Migi comes back, since he has the cell, like, Goto has the cells of Migi, and so did he, and they reacted. It seems like it looked like it created, like, lightning and just fucked up with his body, and since the toxins were fucking up with the other parts of the parasite, his own thing that was messing with him, they wanted to get out of there. Like, no, these toxins are fucking us, they need to get out of there. And it's just like fucking him up, and it's like, oh my god, Goto was just so fucking scary in this episode. No matter what you can say, yeah, I feel like, you know, Tamara should have been, like, the last villain overall. She feels a lot like a certain professor in Tokyo Ghoul. I'm not gonna say who, but it's like, it feels a lot like that in a way, and it's just so scary looking at him because he's running at Shinichi in this creepy ass fucking face and 4 eyes. I'm not gonna lie, when he was charging at Shinichi, I saw to myself, I was like, oh, that's kind of scary. I can't. If that was me, and this is coming my cowardice, I could not deal with that. That's honestly my. I would shit myself if I had to deal with that. So that shows how much of a true man Shinichi is. And it's like, even when they took him down, it's like, we have a 50-50 chance. And this episode started getting very, like, these two, like, talking about one another, rather than not they have the right to decide. Migi kind of showed a little bit of a humanity side, saying, like, I can't kill my own brethren. Like, this is, like, one of my own. So, you know, I think you should have the right to decide. But then again, it isn't human. So why should we kill it in human laws? Like, it got very interesting. It kind of, like, was no point in the end to, like, all their little monologuing that they were having, because Shinichi, in the end of the day, was being selfish, and he chose to kill that monster. Like, overall, he was like, I need to save my family. Like, Murano, my father, the people at school, everyone I care about, I've got to make the choice now. Like he did lead it at first, and he's like, I'm a selfish human being. And that's very interesting to see that he's a very tragic hero. He's a very, like, tragic hero. It's like, he wants to do the good to man, but even though he knows that technically he was a monster just for just murdering this thing when it was just regenerating, like, even though it was trying to kill it, it was still trying to regenerate and just trying to live. And, you know, in its own way, what the parasites and all what they were trying to do, and it's like, these were the guys that were sent by, you know, whatever, sentient, if it just happened, you know, it's just happened. Like, they came here to show, I feel like, humanity a lesson, and that is what they've done. And that, I feel like the message for a lot of this is that humanity always thinks that they're at the top of the food chain. This is what would happen when humanity has to finally look in the eyes and say, we're not. We're not. Like, there will always be something. And that's one thing you've got to learn in life, especially through a lot of people. There will always, and I mean always, this is to all of us, there will always be someone higher or better or, you know, just anything. Like, this person will be better at football. This is like, or soccer. Like, this guy will be better at drawing art. This guy is better at cracking jokes. This guy is better at talking about this thing. You have to understand, and I feel like that's kind of what the sort of message is around about the end of Parasyte, is that, yeah, humans are not the top of the food chain, and this just shows how drastically that they become the prey, and, you know, the parasites are the hunters, and it kind of changing around. So definitely would recommend stuff a lot like Shiki if you kind of like this vibe while Parasyte's going, but I'm very interested, and I'm very curious of how the last episode is going to be. I know it's going to be screening in theaters, so I feel like it's going to be like a lot like an epilogue, like episode, like, oh, this is what happened a couple of years later. Like, maybe, like, I'm kind of curious how the last episode is going to go down and how it's exactly going to end. So, kind of curious about that. But, yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about this. I honestly thought this was a fucking amazing episode. 9 out of 10. Very thought-provoking at the end, and kind of thinking, I feel like that's what the theme of Parasyte is. It's like humanity. This is to every single one of the humanities. Like, there will always be someone better than us at everything. And it's just the way how we combat it and deal with it with our own strengths and weaknesses to show that we can overcome great odds. I'll leave you guys with that. But that's all from me. So thank you very much for watching as always. And I'll see you guys next time.